You don't know that. You better hold on through this series, because you're going to be shocked beyond your imagination. Next follows skepticism in regard to the vital points of our faith, the pillars of our position. Then doubt as to the Holy Scriptures, and then the downward march to perdition. Listen to this, saints. When the testimonies which were once believed are doubted and given up, Satan knows the deceived ones will not stop at this, and he redoubles his efforts till he launches them into open rebellion, which becomes incurable and ends in destruction, brothers and sisters. Once he can get us to give up belief in the testimonies, he launches them into open rebellion, brothers and sisters, which becomes incurable. And that's the reason I say we have a crisis among us today. Because we have a constituency of people that call themselves Seventh-day Adventists and no longer believe in this. The very nerve to question this and call yourself a Seventh-day Adventist. The very nerve. The very nerve of a pastor to stand in the pulpit and look down on this to speak doubtful of this. Should not even be paid with the tithe. And I'm glad I can stand here in this media center and tell the truth and not have to worry about somebody censoring me. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? Let me continue. Continue with what Elder Cruz said. Would it not be logical for Satan to infiltrate the church with uncommitted pastors as well as unconverted members? When viewed in the context of the age-long warfare, it is easy to see how he would attempt such a long-range tactical ploy. In other words, this is a tactical ploy by Satan. Continue now. Because we live literally in the final stages of this tremendous drawn-out drama, we become grandstand spectators of Satan's told strategy. Did you hear that? Let me read it again. Because we live literally in the final stages of this tremendous drawn-out drama, we become grandstand spectators of Satan's told strategy. On your screen now should be a chart talking about the great plan of redemption. In this chart, you will see some numbers across the bottom of the screen: 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Then you see a line, and then you see 7,000. That's the great plan of redemption. I'm going to read now what is there. This is taken from Adventist Home, page 539. It says here, the great plan of redemption results in fully bringing back the world into God's favor. All that was lost by sin is restored, brothers and sisters. So the plan of redemption consists of us bringing us back and restoring us. Not only man, but the earth is redeemed to be the eternal abode of the obedient. For 6,000 years, Satan has struggled to maintain possession of the earth. Now God's original purpose in its creation is accomplished. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever. Throughout the writings, Ellen G. White constantly makes reference to this 6,000-year period. Brothers and sisters, you and I are living at the very end of 6,000 years. Now, we hadn't got to 6,000 years. 2,000 did not take us to 6,000 years. Ursh's chronology we did not get to 6,000 years in 1996. Ursh's chronology was off. Because, brothers and sisters, Jesus will be here at the end of 6,000 years, because we will keep the Sabbath in heaven. And in order for God to finish this thing in 7,000 years, he has to come in 6,000 years, brothers and sisters. Let me continue. So we are literally living at the very end of time, as Elder Cruz has said here. He says, because we live literally in the final stages of this tremendous drawn-out drama, we become grandstand spectators of Satan's told strategy. Right now, he is pulling together all the lines of influence which he has manipulated to weaken the commandment keepers. We see a converging of many circumstances which could not be understood until now, because they appeared only as distressing side issues. Suddenly, we see that they were all tied together and were being masterminded by the great adversary himself. So what he's saying here, as we now, as students of the word, as we look at prophecies, we look at what the spirit of prophecy says, we look at the Bible, and we see what is literally taking place among us, we suddenly see that every little step off of the platform was calculated. calculated. Continue. Look once more at the amazing order which the jigsaw puzzle begins to reveal. The isolated developments within the church are seen to be small portions of a giant pattern which is now approaching completion. It all makes sense in the light of Satan's ultimate objectives. What better plan could he have devised than to dilute the spiritual standard slowly by worldly wedges of compromise that grew bigger and bigger? And today we sit, brothers and sisters, and we see a metamorphosis taking place among us, and still we sit and we say nothing. Saints, I want you to understand, you will not be a part of God's last day people if you sit and not say anything. If you take your light and hide it under the bush, I want to be straight with you. Unless you are standing for the truth, God can't use you.